All right. Hey. It's day 17 of the 10K and 30-day challenge. Now, I want to welcome you in. We're going to get right into this really important topic that we need to talk about. I want you to listen up because some of us have not made progress, and I want you to really evaluate why. Because some of us are just doing tasks, and I want you to know that that's not enough to achieve the success that you're really capable of. You are making sure that you take the actions, but you're not doing the thing that's going to lead to effectively aligning to your goal. So, we're talking about today the difference between action and activity in order for you to get your payoff. So, many of us, we are great at completing tasks. We send emails. We don't have a problem sending those emails. We don't have a problem posting on their social media. We will set up the meetings. But these are tasks that just move you closer to the goal. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between that activity and that meaningful action through the stories. I'm gonna talk to you about three types of consultants who each have their own unique challenge. And I want you to think about, are you one of these people? So I want you to think about that. So let's talk about consultant number one. This consultant is what I like to call the event planner. This consultant is pretty much an extrovert. They love to put together events and to organize, get togethers. And this is their business, but she often misses like the details and the follow through. And what always happens is that it ends up in a cancellation, no actual progress. So it's the excitement around the planning of the event, it's the excitement around saying, I'm going to do this. This is going to be the event. That's why I call her the event planner. She focuses on the fun and the excitement of planning, but there is no attention given to the groundwork to fill the event. She doesn't have a lead magnet. She doesn't have an email list. She doesn't have the people she needs to buy the tickets to come to the event, but will quickly go to book a hotel, to book a conference room, to book an Airbnb, a mansion, because it's all fun and dandy. And she can picture it in her head how amazing it's going to be. But what she really needs to do is develop a detailed checklist for the event that she wants to put together and plan backwards, which is think about how are you going to promote this? How are you going to get people registered? Where are you getting the people from to buy the tickets? How are you following up with them? How are you converting the attendees to the event into clients? Is this a paid event or a free event? What's the budget for the event? So all of those background pieces have been overlooked because we went straight to planning the event. Some of you all are right now, we're in this challenge and you are busy planning an event or planning a workshop or webinar or whatever it may be, and you haven't done the groundwork to be able to get there. So what actions do you take? Or maybe you're a consultant number two. We're going to call this person the overthinker. We're going to call this consultant the overthinker. This consultant is an intelligent person, very cautious, stays within her comfort zone, is not one to go out of her comfort zone. She is excellent in preparation, but hesitates to take the concrete actions that lead to direct sales or that directly lead to sales. And what happens is she gets paralyzed by the need for perfection and the fear of making mistakes, which stifles her progress. So, like this person will take notes. This person, I wrote them down, honey. This person is really smart, independent, cautious. She's not a risk taker. She thinks a lot, but she's not really good at taking action. She procrastinates through the overthinking, but will do a lot of researching, do a lot of taking notes, do a lot of collecting information and storing stuff. And it's easy to do those things. But what she really needs is specific deadlines for the research phase and then a transition into her action phase and using a simple action plan that really focuses on the direct client engagement, but she also needs some accountability. She needs an accountability partner who's going to hold her to the fire. Now, it's a point to all of this. Don't worry, y'all. It's a point to all this. You just figure out if you are one of these people. And then when we think about consultant number three, we call this person the talker. Now, this consultant is charismatic and normally pretty popular, easily gets meetings with decision makers, and but she struggles to close the deal due to the fact that she overtalks. So people love her, but she overtalks. And she fails to listen and adapt to the client cues. So the client will be saying what it is they need, and she's busy talking about what it is she wants to talk about. She's busy talking about the program she's already completed when this person is saying what it is they need. And she probably, or she tends to overshare and can overwhelm potential clients, giving them way too much information, making them feel like this is way too much. My people are not going to go for this. And so, what does she need to do? She has to practice concise communication. She has to prepare a clear, succinct pitch that highlights her value without over explaining. So, she has to really focus more on listening than on talking. So, with all three of these types of consultants, one of the problems is they need accountability. They need an accountability partner who's going to stop them in their tracks, who's going to hold them accountable, who's going to say, you said you were going to reach out to 10 schools. Did you reach out to them? Why didn't you do it? Tomorrow, you need to make it happen, and not let them off the hook when they say, well, I started doing this. Well, I wasn't feeling good. Well, this, that. You got to have somebody who's really going to be in your corner to help you to move forward, because we are really good at task completion, but we're not always good at taking decisive actions that is going to bring money into the household. And part of it is because we think that if we're working behind the scenes, that that's enough to get it done. But I question if you really, really believe that you can do this. That's where it was coming to, y'all. That's what it was coming to. So I want you to think about the things that you've done in your business, like a garden. You wouldn't just plant the seeds, which are the tasks that you're doing, and just hope for the best. Just be like, oh, I planted the seed, I put it in the dirt, I covered it up. I'm finna go, and I'll be back in 90 days to see what it did. I'm coming back at the end of the 30 days to see if I made 10K. No, you got to water them. You got to pull the weeds. You got to protect them from the pest. You got to take effective actions. So it's not just about the planting, or it's not just about doing the task. You really have to believe, you really have to nurture, and you got to know that you can do this and step into this in full faith. You cannot go into doubt. See, some of us have stopped and have gone into what is now doubt. You started out saying, I can do this. You were excited. And this is really an indication of how things work. Because in the beginning, on day 1, 2, 3, 4, it was really easy. You believed you could do this. 5, 6, 7, it was still okay. I think I can do this. But then when it got to 8, 9, 10, and we got into the more complicated things, we were willing to do the task, but we're not willing to be the person. So there's a disconnect there. You got to show up as a consultant. You got to show up as an expert. You got to know that you are serving people at a high level and that people are looking for you. You cannot think that I'm pestering people, that people are talking about me, that I don't want to get on anybody's nerves. You got to eliminate. Those are all doubt thoughts. Those are thoughts of doubt. And you got to remove that from your mind. You got to think about nurturing and growing your garden. And it's going to turn into what it needs to turn into. But if you stop watering it, if you stop taking care of it, you cannot just do the task, just plant the seeds and walk away. That's what you're doing when you simply do tasks. This is not a task completion. You have to become the person. You got to be willing to make the calls. And on the call, you got to be confident. You got to talk to these people and let them know, I have what you need. I would love to support you. I would love to partner with you and support your teachers. Your teachers need this support. You got to be decisive. You got to be succinct. You have to talk to decision makers. How many of you all have actually talked to a decision maker? Put it in the chat for me, put it in the comments. How many have actually talked to a decision maker? How many offers have you actually made? And I don't want to hear that I don't know anybody. It's schools all around you. It's community-based organizations all around you. Some of you all are so single focused on a school. There are organizations all around you who can use your help. You can go to the daycares. You can go to the early childhood learning centers. You can go to the juvenile centers. You can go to the domestic violence shelters. You can go to the Urban League, to the Head Start. Why do you feel like the school is the only thing that you can do? Even those who feel like I'm doing it all. No, you're not doing it all. If you feel like you're doing it all, that just goes to show that you don't believe in what you're doing, because everybody knows that no one can do it all. So I really want you to stop and evaluate, am I really making offers? And am I being single-minded and just taking the action and not really becoming the person? Have you gotten out of your house? Have you gone to visit any schools? Have you met any people in person? Have you gotten any decision makers on the phone? Stop just sitting back sending emails saying, I sent an email and nobody responded. It's not their job to respond. It's your job to get in contact with them. So I want us to really think about it. And I want you to take a minute to reflect on your actions. And I want you to think to yourself, are you more like consultant one, consultant two, or consultant three? Or maybe you're a combination of them. Put it in the comments for me. And then I want you to identify one step you can take today to move from mere task completion to executing effective actions that directly contribute to your goal of bringing in $10,000 this month. I want you to put it in the chat, put it in the comments. Why are we afraid to communicate? You clearly see that I'm coming in, I'm responding to your comments in the comment section. I'm giving you direct support. You just got to show up for yourself. There are some who can't even give focused attention for 30 days. We're on day 17 and many people have already quit. That's because we're so accustomed to receiving a check from a school system. We won't make a decision unless our back is against the wall. Let your job tell you that you are fired. Let that contract that you're working on, they release you from it. Oh, you're going to be all in then. I need you to be all in right now. We still got time. When you plant the seed, it don't grow the same day. So stop saying it's not working. You cannot say it's not working because we're not through the 30 days yet. You don't know if your breakthrough is going to come on day 22, if it's coming on day 18 or day 29. All you have to do is stay in faith, continue to show up, continue to believe, and continue to do the work and become the person that you need to become to align to the goals that you've set. So I want y'all to share in the comments with me and commit to this new action for this week. It's day 17 of our challenge, and it's not just about doing things. It's about doing the right things that lead to the results. So I want you to tune in tomorrow as we go into day 18. And look, it's so many opportunities out here. You just have to be willing to go for them. And a lot of us, we're so stuck in our ways and we believe that it's supposed to happen overnight. Come on, y'all, we got this. We can do this. We can make this happen, but you cannot quit on yourself right now. Don't do that to yourself. Stop trying to force things to happen. Do the task, become the person, get out the house, talk to people, be confident, stop doubting yourself, stop worrying about what you don't have, and don't worry about what you're going to say. If you focus on listening to what the person is saying to you on the phone, you'll see that you know the response to what they're going to say to you. And then don't forget to build relationships with those secretaries and those people who are answering the phones. When you're talking, calling a community-based organization, ask for the director. They are sitting right there and will take your call. Sometimes we overhype how this really happens. Talk to the director. We need to take the right actions, people. I'm looking forward to day 18, and I'm looking forward to hearing about your successes.